spoiler alert, the Giants not in the postseason. Here's a look at the teams that are and the games that are set as the MLB 2025 postseason gets underway tomorrow. Another team you don't see on here, the New York Mets. That's right, they complete the collapse from first place to out of the playoffs with a loss to the Marlins. The Mets' loss did secure a playoff berth for the Cincinnati Reds, who will go into the postseason as the NL's final wildcard team in the number 6 seed. They'll face the Los Angeles Dodgers tomorrow. You got to feel for Mets fans, geez, it's bad. Mets owner Steve Cohen apologized to fans on X after the brutal collapse, saying the result was unacceptable. That's right. The Mets went from literally the best record in baseball on June 12th to missing the playoffs. For much more on this, let's go ahead and welcome in our own Lewis Brinson. Lewis, it is so great to see you. October baseball is upon us. Let's go ahead and start with not just the Mets here and their end to the season, but along with the Mets, the Astros also imploded to end their season. Which collapse, in your opinion, is more disappointing?
First off, the Mets have to be more disappointing. The implode of the Mets. I mean, you spend over $1 billion in the offseason. You get your Juan Soto, you get the big fish in the offseason, and you can't make the playoffs, even though they were the best team early parts of the year before the All-Star break, and then just literally exploded. Starting rotation just couldn't figure it out. Their moves at the deadline couldn't get those going. Ryan Hesley, I don't think anybody saw Ryan Hesley really imploding like he did. You just couldn't get everything on the same page. It just seemed like they couldn't get on the same page. They couldn't figure things out. They couldn't get the big hit when they needed it. And then when they didn't need it, they get it. But just everything didn't happen at the right time. But ultimately, it was the starting pitching just completely imploding, and the Mets end up missing the playoffs. It is a disappointing season for the Mets. You know, just so much talent on this team and end up missing the playoffs like they did. And having the Reds kind of catch them there, it is just a very disappointing season for the Mets.
Most definitely. Let's focus on the teams that we will see in the postseason. And you're going to go ahead, Lewis, and actually walk us through your MLB playoff bracket and your predictions of how it all shakes out.
All right. So we have the Tigers and the Guardians. I got the Guardians taking that series. I think they just have the Tigers number there. I think the Guardians ultimately come out on that series and take the wild card series and end up facing the Mariners.
All right, let's
go down to the Hell in the Cell match between the Red Sox and the Yankees. Ultimately, I think the Yankees actually pulled this out. The Red Sox have a great team, young team, but inexperience is going to come and bite them in the butt there. I think the Yankees go ahead and face the Blue Jays there in the division series.
All right, yep, and the winner will go on to face the Blue Jays in the National League now. Bye week for the Brewers and Phillies. And then let's start with the Reds and Dodgers here.
I got the Dodgers. This is going to be a trappy series. Great mound presence by the Reds, but ultimately I got the Dodgers, big brother of literally the whole league. I think the Dodgers are going to go ahead and take this wild card series from the Reds.
And we'll see the Padres and Cubs winner moves on to see the Brewers. Who you got?
Got the Padres. It's going to be another dogfight at Wrigley Field. They're going to be jumping. They're going to be excited for their team to be back in the playoffs. But ultimately, I think the Padres just have too much firepower, and obviously that bullpen is going to do what it does. So I think the Padres are going to advance there.
All right, let's walk us through who we will see in the ALCS in this best of 7.
So the Guardians, great team against Steven Kwan and Mr. Jose Ramirez, the most underrated player in the league. They will fight the Mariners to the death, but ultimately I got the Mariners. They got too much firepower. The moves that they made at the deadline, the pitching staff, I mean, it's just great. So I got the Mariners advancing there.
Who will they see?
And they will see the Blue Jays. Unfortunately, the Yankees just, I think they fizzle out. They're going to have a great start by Mr. Aaron Judge. I think he's going to figure it out, and Giancarlo Stanton and all the pitching staff that they have. But ultimately, I think the Blue Jays are going to come out and face the Mariners in the ALCS.
Over to the National League here. Who you got between the Dodgers and Phillies? This is going to be a good one.
This is going to be a great one, and everybody's going to put their money on the Dodgers. But I got the Phillies coming out and taking down the Dodgers, taking down Big Brother of the league. Phillies are way too powerful. They are the only team, in my opinion, that can match up with the Dodgers on the field, toe-to-toe, go toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. Dodgers bullpen, a little bit of a question mark for me, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Phillies.
All right. Well, odds makers, kind of on the same page with you. Phillies top of the board with the best odds in terms of winning the World Series, but who will they see in the ALCS? NLCS,
I think
excuse me.
NLCS. Yeah, no, this is going to be another great series between great teams. Obviously, the best team in the league in the Brewers, and I think the Brewers ultimately take over and beat the Padres there. I think the Brewers are just going to death by a million cuts. I mean, they're just going to wear you down with great base running, great defense, and great pitching and timely hitting, and I think they advance and face the Phillies.
All right. With all that being said, we gotta make our World Series matchup here. Who is it going to be?
Now, I think the Blue Jays are going to put up a good fight again, but I got the Mariners, man. I really, really do believe in this Mariners team. They have a great team. Again, Cal Raleigh, Jose Rodriguez there. They have a wonderful pitching staff. They're finally, getting and coming into their form. So I think the Mariners ultimately beat the Blue Jays and advance to the World Series.
All right, we got 1 and 2 now. Who are we going to see against the Mariners in the 2025 World Series?
It's going to be another good matchup here. I think this is going to go late. I don't think this is going to be a breeze for the Phillies at all, but I do think the Phillies overtake the Brewers. Brewers late playoff run, I definitely predicted that. Again, great team, but the Phillies, it's just their time. It's their time to advance, and it's their time to get it done.
All right, so there's our matchup, and it looks like you also have the Phillies. You're on the same page with odds makers, and they will go on to win the World Series. Tell us why.
Again, I think it's just the Phillies' time, right? You have a lot of guys becoming free agents. You have a Bryce Harper. You have a Kyle Schwarber, who is a monster in the playoffs. They have that rotation, and we have Christopher Sanchez, you have Ranger Suarez, and I think people are sleeping on Jesus Luzardo. A lot of people have written him off, said he couldn't throw strikes, said he couldn't pitch in big games, and couldn't be a productive pitcher, but he has shown this year, getting traded over to a contending team, to be able to be a part of that rotation and be a force in that rotation. Obviously, you're going to have to mix in a righty there, Aaron Nola there. But I just ultimately think, again, only team, in my opinion, that could really stack up against the juggernaut in the Dodgers. And I just don't see anybody really stopping the Phillies. I think it's their time, and they have the bullpen piece. Again, they got the lead going into that 7th, 8th inning. I think it's pretty much a done deal. So I think it's the Phillies' time, and let's see if they can get it done, but I think they can.
All right. I guess it's their time. You heard the man. Don't make him tell you that he told you so, because right now the Phillies do have the best odds at plus 450. So plus money there. If you get in now on the Phillies to win the World Series, the Dodgers and Mariners tied for the second best odds at plus 550. We'll see how it all shakes out as the MLB postseason begins tomorrow.